I'm not going to drag any more down. I'm going to pick and choose from this group, and this being, I'll tell y'all something about these heads right here. Take notice. It's a problem you run into if you order. It's a problem you run into if you order valves on eBay, on the internet. So this is the head right here. This is the head that came off of this Bosch engine. It's just your typical spark plug forward head. Nothing special about it so far. This is the springs that came with it, which is probably original, you know, typical. When I got it, it had this on here with a cotter across there, and this is not original, but this keeper was on the exhaust valve, and it is cracked but completely serviceable, and being it's original to this engine, I would probably use that. But you can see the castings of old, how offset they was. But these are usable. I'll put a new exhaust valve on it, but intake. But the exhaust I'm gonna keep on there. The only fault of it, it has a good thread in the spark plug. This had been homemade. The governor has been homemade. Seems to function quite well. It's really good down in yonder. It seats real good and all, and it works and everything. And there's nothing wrong with it, and I will definitely use this head. But on this application here, in order to bring it back to factory original, I'll show you something. And it's most of the time, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. It's an adjustment you have to make. So, and these standoffs I done well made right here are well worth my time to make. I'm just gonna put them in here right now to protect this. That little governor thing right there. See, that costs a lot of money, and I need one of them. So, yeah, you know, if I could get 10% or something off, well, I'm gonna have to. You can make them as attested to here, and I've got two in the that I have made complete from scratch. It's time consuming, and it's complicated enough. The process that you actually should use. I mean, this is just a makeshift here. There's casting, die casting involved in it, I think, and so it's sometimes it's worth leaving that to somebody else. You know what I mean? But now these valves ain't the valves that come in this engine, because one of them would have been threaded and one of them not. The intake would have some threads on it. But if you look at that right there, immediately you can see that something ain't right. One of them valves is bigger than the other one, quite a bit. It's this, that's that intake valve right there. It's really worn a lot. It has to be replaced. And the seat up there, it's quite shiny, and it's dished out that way. To looking down in there, you can tell that seat has been cut extremely big. They possibly I started to say it might have a seat in there, but it's just some really nice machine work to enlarge the valve enough to where, I'll show you something. This is the valve that should go in there. I ordered that on the internet the other day. So if you put it down in there, see it goes down to 4. Especially, and stem is too loose. So once you put a valve guide in there, at that point, that valve guide is going to be off of true as compared to the seat, some degree of measurement. You can't get it straight head on. Mark that down in that blank page in your book. Whatever that deviation off of true is, you take your valve seat cutter, put the arbor mandrel in there, put down there, and cut the seat to match that trueness as good as you can. At that point, this is going to get bigger. The exhaust over here, it's not original either. Most of the time, the exhaust, and not even original to the Bosch type. This has been a rebuild. And, well, it's quite sooty there. And that's the way this actually was. I've not cleaned on that at all. Quite carved up. But it's oily. That's the way I found this. So, but the stems wore out. So you're going to have to cut a new seat. And at this point, to fix this engine, you have to make a oversized valve head, which is what will be required on this head right here. So, and it'll be a good head as is with the repaired governor brackets part in there. And the other one we have to choose from is this head right here. It has a, I have to get a hammer. So it has a stuck intake valve, rusted up kinda a lot in here, but it has original valves in it, noting how large the exhaust valve head is to wick away the heat. That's for heat compensating. But stuck tight as can be. The governor there is stuck in there and all. So it's just some work, but this is otherwise a good head, good threads here, original springs and fixtures. And so, but to fix this will require removing this, sawing this valve off, and put it over in the lathe and drill a hole through there and knock that valve out, and then put new guides in it. And so that's a candidate. The other, and probably should be the winner, up to the point this head here should be used as it is. I should not even clean up this head, because this head has the patina that a large number of these engine has. So I could replace this head as is without doing anything to it. Maybe it's good as is, but to improve it, you would at least clean it up, the valves here, and compound them. So, and the governor works really good on that one. So that's a candidate. I have one, been with this for, hit that, go ahead and subscribe. The other candidate is, I've cleaned this one up. I don't remember where I got this head at. I got this, I know, the other candidate is this head right here. It needs some seats cut in it, and it also needs the valves to be finished up. I already have guides in it, and yes, so this is a likable candidate. Just go ahead and make a couple of heads go in there to fit and thread it, and we'll be good to go. So that's a possibility. But I'll show you something else about some valves if you want me to. That I ordered on these on the internet. I'll show you something. One of them's not good. You know what I mean. So no, I ordered these two valves the other day, and the stem's not good. It's quite rough. You know, I'm gonna use it, but it's not. That stem would fail inspection. It's right where the guide's at. It's well, this one right here. I got two of them, and this one's very good. You know, it's pretty decent. That's good. This is really good. But this one right here, you know, they should have thrown that back. But anyways, I got these two the other day, and I'll show you something. I ordered this valve some years ago from Hit&Miss Industries. This is a hit-and-miss engine. I mean, a hit-miss engine parts. Out of business now here. But anyway, they made this valve, and I ordered it from them. So, it's very good. I've had it a long time. I keep it as a blueprint. If I'm going to make another one, I'll copy this one. And I did that. I have some valves here that I made. Yeah, this valve, I made this valve. Okay, I'll compare them up to you. This is a valve that come out of a car that I cut and drilled. You know, that's a found valve. It's really good. It's automobile production grade. And these two are original. And they're still pretty decent. Not noting that the exhaust valve should have some weight added to that valve. Exhaust valve should be heavy on these engines. Engine run better. And there is some heat built up at low speed. Don't be confused that it won't help your engine run. It takes away some shock too in that once it gets warm. It don't. Anyways, I'm just saying. Yeah, I made this valve, and it's identical to this hit-and-miss valve, except one of them's exhaust and this is the intake that I made. Anyways, so with these two examples, and I'm going to compare it up to the best example over here, and well, it's a lightweight valve, to be honest about it. And mine is too. This valve should have some more weight to it. I'm just saying, you know, to run and all, but actually it has a, this valve that I ordered, both of them, has more seat than that old time. That's pretty good, I guess. About the same. No, this has a bigger seat. It's smaller it's the same size up at the top, looks like, and smaller at the bottom. But, and that would compensate for the length, I guess. I'm going to replace that head with this head because this is a much better head. Now, so this is what we're dealing with. It's very good. It has the original exhaust valve in it that comes in these M's originally, and that's that extra weight on that exhaust valve is on there for a reason. I'm just saying, you actually need that. But I'm going to replace these valves. I'm going to take them out and assess them, and You'll notice right there on that head right there, that's a spark plug body that somebody has broken the spark plug off of, and then they threaded that and put a smaller spark plug in it. So I'm going to take that out and put original spark plug back in there. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to weld that socket around there into that spark plug body on it. And then I can take a ratchet pry bar and put on there and remove the stuck spark plug. But first, this head came by way of a parts engine, you know. But it's got that on there, and oh yeah. See, that's the intake valve right there. That has the double nut on it. You can adjust it. Oh yeah, that's original. Now, okay, you know, just to show you what we're dealing with, this right here was on that exhaust valve right there. There's a pin that was in it. Go across that way. That was in there, and it's in good condition. We'll use that as an upgrade from the one that was on this engine that is broken. We'll keep this in stock to use later. And this will be replaced by these original parts here. So, but the spring's still good, intake, and that's pretty good. Okay, here's the one that was on this engine, and here's the one that was on the original engine, and you can see there's a little bit of difference in them. Here's an extra one. It's pretty close. This is a new one here, but this is, and we'll clean it up, but we'll reuse those springs. This being the intake that was on that engine that we're replacing, it's stretched and will not be replaced. I'll use this one right here. Actually, I'll put a new one on here. That's quite rusty. So, well, you know, I have two options right there. So, both these springs being new, ordered on the internet. No, it ain't. This is not a new one. This is just a real good used one. This is one ordered on the internet, as is this one. But I made this valve here. This is a new spring. And you can see the varying heights in all three of them. Actually, one right there is pretty good. I'll replace on this engine right here. I'll put that on here. So we got a new spring for it. So, and yes, I'll show you something. Just a little valve history. This being the original exhaust valve, take note of the heavy weight. To be replaced by replaced by this valve right here. A long time ago, there was a company, a guy, Mr. D's. The company went out of business, I think. But this is a hit and miss valve right here. Hit and Miss Enterprise made that valve. So I copied them, and this is the valve I made as an exact copy of them. Only this is an intake. It's threaded on the end down there. It works. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna put it on this engine probably. Probably one of these. I ordered these on the internet the other day. They're kind of pricey. That's all I'm gonna say about that. We'll put some new guides and use them. So we got enough parts. And I put this one together just earlier, up to the point where this being a modified engine, the whole setup, I need to confirm that I have like that valve shorter than normal, so the distance between the keeper and the head, I have to verify that I have enough clearance. So I'm putting it together kind of temporary. But I'm gonna get back to these heads now.